Hey kids, how are you doing? It is me, your new bestest friend, Professor Otto von Buoyancy, and my assistant, Bowie. Say hi, Bowie. That had to hurt, Bowie. I am a world-famous floatologist. That means I test what things can float and what things can sink. And so what we're going to do is make a game. And each day we're going to choose 5 things. That's one more than 4, one less than 6. 5. You got it, Bowie? We're going to choose 5 things and see whether they sink or if they float. All right, we're ready to go. We open up with our food edition. We will have, favorite, the banana. You know, a lot of people peel the banana wrong, Bowie. They do it from the stem. You're supposed to do it from the bottom. Yeah, that's the way the monkeys do it. All right, let's see. What do you think? Is he going to sink or float? Let's see. She's a floater. All right. She came right back up to the top there. That's good stuff, Bowie. Put that over there. All right. Next, we're going on to an avocado. Arguably God's ugliest vegetable. All right, here we go. You know, it's got the heavy pit in the middle, Bowie. Could be a problem. Let's see. What do you think? Is it going to float or is it going to sink? Here we go. Who's thinking about it is thinking about it. It's at the bottom. She's a sinker. I think it is the pit. I think that's what it was, Bowie. All right, here we go. Oh, this will be fun. We're going to start off with an orange. Wow. Lots of vitamin C. Good for you. Dr. Von Buoyancy has lots of vitamin C. All right, here we go. Oh, perfectly intact. What do you think? Is he going to sink or float? Oh, she popped right back up there. She's a big-time floater there. Now, just to change it up, Bowie. This is what scientists do. This is why I am world-famous floatologist. We're going to take an orange that is peeled. You think it'll make a difference, Bowie? Bowie says no. But the floatologist thinks maybe. Let's see, what do you think? Is it going to sink? Float. Here we go. Oh, she go down like a lead weight. She not sealed up so things can get in there and make it sink. Oh, wow. All right, one more. We've got a watermelon. It's a small watermelon. Smaller than Professor's head. Most things are. All right, here we go. This is our last one of day 1. How's your score so far? Good. All right, is he going to sink or float? Here we go. I'm not going to splash this one. I'm just going to drop it here. And go. Oh, she bounced up and came right up to the top to float. We had a lot of floaters. We had 2 sinkers. How'd you do today? All right, we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Sink or Float.
Have you ever wondered why you're here? How God could use you? What good do you have to offer the world around you? Well, I hope this week through Make Waves, we answer some of those questions. Specifically tonight, we're going to really look at some of those things. And I want to challenge you to pay attention as we move through some fun videos and some lesson times and see how you can make waves and change the world around you.
Hello everyone, I'm Steven.
And I'm John.
And this is the So-and-So Show!
Yeah, we're just a couple of best friends hanging out in my basement making a show that can be silly and fun.
And can also make you ponder the important things in life.
Yeah, but that goes under fun, of course.
Obviously,
Yeah,
of course.
and all week long we are going to learn how to make waves.
What is that?
Make waves. I don't know. That's what it says on the card.
It does say that. So we're gonna learn how to make waves.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to find a swimming pool or something?
We really should have discussed this before we started filming.
We should have.
I can just sense them, the people staring at us right now. They're like, they don't really know what they're talking about. Well, yes, Charlie Williams! I see you. We do so know what we're talking about.
Who is Charlie Williams?
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a Charlie Williams watching.
There probably is, but look, we can't just sit here. So let's do the show, okay? Let's make waves.
How?
The only way we know how. In a montage. Are you gonna push it or should I push it?
Oh.
Make waves, take one.
Sound waves! No.
Make waves, take two.
Wave waves.
No.
John, can you hear me? I'm waving. Get it? John! How do you not see this?
Make waves, take three.
Microwaves. They're waves, but extremely tiny.
Delicious. But no.
Make waves, take four.
Amber waves of grain. Nope.
Make waves, take five.
I don't think we're making the right waves.
I think you're right. We may need a little help. We may need a little help.
Yeah. Does that mean what I think it means?
It does. It's Bible story time.
Hey everyone, my name is Kellen, and I am so glad that I get to tell you stories from the Bible that will help us all understand what it means to make waves. Now, today's story starts in the very beginning of the Bible, in the first chapter of the book of Genesis. You know, where like God literally made waves. It's true. In the beginning, there was nothing. And then God made everything. The earth, the sky, the sun, and the moon, oceans, rivers, mountains, and trees. Oh, how can I forget my favorite thing, animals? God looked at all of his creation and saw that it was good. And it was. You only have to listen to the rush of a waterfall or feel that cool breeze hit your face or look at the stars at night to know how magnificent and amazing our creative God is. But do you know what God saved for last? His most precious creation? People.
Oh, that's right. He made us in his image.
Who said that?
Oh, that would be me, Kellen. I'm Adam, the first man God created.
Okay. So just so everyone knows, Adam would have lived thousands of years ago, so there's no way he could be giving an interview today. But let's just see what happens. So Adam, what was it like being the first person on the planet?
Oh, are you kidding? I was living in the Garden of Eden, like an actual paradise. The weather every day, perfect. And like I said, God made me in his image, so that was cool.
That's right. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, you can read this. So God created human beings in his own likeness. He created them to be like himself. Maybe that means that God made us to look like him. Or maybe it means we're like God in other ways. For instance, we can be creative because God is really creative.
You're telling me. Have you seen some of these animals that God created? They are crazy. And, he put me in charge of them, right?
You actually got to name them, didn't you?
Yeah, which is actually tougher than it sounds, but I get the hang of it after a while. Like, that's a platypus. I'm going to name you Edgar. Oh, clearly that's a... I may change some of those later.
So, did you ever get lonely in the garden all by yourself?
Oh, I wasn't alone for long. Like, I fell asleep this one time, and then I woke up, and
Hi.
hey, here she is. This is Eve.
I'm the first woman.
Yeah.
Again, let's just see what happens. Thanks for joining us, Eve.
Well, it's not good for the man to be alone. That's what God said. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I've got your back, Adam.
Oh, and I've got yours, Eve.
And your rib.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing.
All right.
So, yeah, it's really good to be here.
So, question for you both. How did the only two people in the whole world pass the time? What did you guys do all day?
I'm sorry. Did I mention that I had to name all the animals? Do you know how many different kinds of birds there are?
No, I don't.
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot.
We had other stuff to do. God basically put us in charge of his creation. We had to watch over all the animals in the farmland and take care of it.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a big job.
Totally. But that's what we're made for. I mean, we were made for a purpose,
Porpoise! Porpoise! That's what I should name him. Remember I was calling him Chirpy Fish Dude the whole time? Porpoise is way better.
I think this is all the time that we have for today.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of busy too. Taking care of the whole wide world is kind of hard. Yeah. Right?
Oh, I bet.
Thanks for having us.
See ya.
That was silly. But what Eve said was true. God made people for a purpose, to take care of the world around them. Now, our world today looks a little bit different than Adam and Eve's world. Instead of just two people, our world has over 7 billion people. That's a lot to take care of. But remember, people were made in God's image. We were made in God's image. So we can work together to show the world what God is like by being creative, by being patient, and by showing God's love to people around us. That's how we make a difference in the world, and that's how we can make waves. I'll see you all next time.
I think I understand how to make waves now.
Do tell.
Well, and it doesn't involve sound waves or microwaves or waving your hand.
Well, I could have guessed that.
Yeah,
but-
it's so simple. And I'm going to tell you all about it right after we answer this question. What's the point? The point is, God made people with a purpose.
He sure did.
And part of that purpose is what we already know. God wants us to take care of the world and the people in the world. We make waves by discovering how we're going to take care of the world.
Right. When you see waves in the water, it means something has happened to cause those waves. You drop a rock in the lake, you immediately see the waves it creates.
Yeah, and I think God dropped us on this planet so that we can cause things to happen. We can make things better in the world. We can make waves by being who God created us to be.
So think about how God made you. Think about the things you enjoy doing, or ask someone you trust to help you know what you're good at.
Yeah.
It could be that God made you just the way you are so you can make waves that will change the world around you.
Yeah, that's great. Until next time, I'm John.
And I'm Steven.
And this was the So-and-So Show. One more wave. Hey!
Hello, my name is Nikki, and we're going to go through our crafts each day together. And we're going to start with day one. So in your packet, you should have 5 sheets of paper, and they say Days of Creation at the top. So we're just going to start with day one. And you're going to need either markers or crayons, colored pencils, whatever it is you like to draw with or color with. So day 1, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and he called the dark night. So just kind of separating and coloring light and dark. And that was his first day, light and dark. Day 1. And then day 2, he decided there's going to be a space between the waters and separating water to water. So on day 2, we're creating the sky. I'm just using blue. Whatever color you want. Your sky can be purple or green. Just gonna do a blue sky. He separated the water that was under the space from the water that was above it and called it sky. And it was day 2. Day 3 is when he created land and plants. So dry ground is gonna appear, and maybe my ground's a little wet so that the plants can grow. So just some ground, he called it land. And then he had some plants, and all the plants that would produce seeds. So more and more could grow. And trees. This was the day he also made trees. Give all the animals something to climb in, or crawl on, or create shade, or homes for some of the animals, and flowers. All the fun little stuff that we see when we're walking around outside. And that was day 3. And some plants. And then day 4, one of my favorites, he created the sun. A nice, big, shining sun. And the stars. The fancy little stars. And the moon. And he created the moon. He made large light for over the day, and the moon and the stars for over the night. And that was day 4. And day 5, we have all the little swimming. Make a nice big sea. And we have fish that swim in the sea, maybe a squid or a jellyfish. And the birds that fly in the sky. He said, "Let the waters be filled with living things and the sky be filled with living things, swimming, flying animals," for day 5. And then day 6, we have land animals. So all the animals that walk along the earth. And also on day 6, the most important thing, in my book anyway, he created people. He said, let us make man in our likeness, and created man, created them as male and female, and all the animals, and dogs and cows and cats, all the fun animals, and that was day 6. And then day 7, God rested. He created so many things and was so busy the other 6 days that the final day, he rested. And that's the end of creation. And come back and see me tomorrow, and we'll have another activity lined up.
Have you ever thought about how God created the world? How the days of creation don't seem to match up with the way we would do things. Like, for instance, there's light and there's darkness, but there's no sun. There's no stars, there's no moon, there's no light source, but there's light on day 1. And God's showing us how powerful he is, how amazing he is that he can create light with nothing. And then how he creates the air that we need to breathe on day 2. He's giving us water and air on day 2, the things that we need most to survive. And then on day 3, he creates land and plants. And plants act as air filters for us, right? They take in what we breathe out, the things that we can't breathe in, they absorb it, and they produce the oxygen that we need to breathe. They're kind of like air filters. God creates air filters, something to filter the air so it's very best for us. Then on day 4, he creates the sun and the moon and the stars. Think about this, he has sustained life on this planet of ours through his own power, through his own might. He's given us the sun now, the moon to help guide us at night, and stars. And then on day 5, he creates the animals that swim and the animals that fly, and then on day 6, land animals and us. And if we were in charge, I bet we would probably put ourselves the very first thing that we create, the most important thing, we're doing it first, right? But God saves the most important thing for last. And he gets the whole world prepared for what's most important, us. He's showing us how important we are to him. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that great to know that a powerful God like our God, who created the world out of nothing and with just his words, would say that we're that important? He would make that much thought into preparing the earth for us so that when he created us, it's perfect and ready for us. And as you go throughout your week and in those moments when maybe you don't feel good enough, that maybe you're not worthy for God, know that God created you with a purpose. That he created the world with you in mind, and he created it so that you could thrive, so that you could have the best life. And he wants nothing but the best for you. Take comfort in knowing that God loves you. That's all we have for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow night for day 2 of Make Way.